Welcome to the Grassroots Army Podcast. This platform is for common sense people looking for up-to-date, accurate, and truthful information without the hot garbage corporate media bias. The power of one can lead to the power of many. You never know what small act that you may say or do that may literally change the lives of millions tomorrow. And don't you ever think that you can't make a difference, because you can. Good morning, my fellow Michiganders. Good morning, my fellow Americans. Welcome to the Grassroots Army Podcast. I am, of course, your host, Garrett Soldano, and do I have a show for you here today? I can't even keep up with this media cycle. It's insane on how many things are happening. Holy cow, you want to stay up all night because there's so many things happening that President Trump is obviously doing right now, making America great again, setting up the foundation for us to build the skyscraper. What we all know and believe America can be is the powerhouse of the world, to lead the world, to go to Mars. Elon Musk is obviously very fired up. But let's get right to it here today, because when we have someone who is rumored to run for governor, especially on the Democrat side. See, in my humble opinion, running for governor in the last election cycle, your campaign, let me repeat, your campaign is a direct reflection on how you're going to run the state, manage the state, grow the state. Your direct reflection on how you, as an executive, that's what a governor should be, and as an executive, how you're going to run your team to make sure no mistakes are made. As many as possible, or as limited as possible mistakes. I mean, everyone makes mistakes, but when you're doing an announcement, okay, that is something that should, in my humble opinion, kind of go off flawlessly. All right. There shouldn't be a mistake because if it's a mistake, then it's going to suck the wind out of your sails with your announcement. And you are just going to get absolutely destroyed on social media. And that's exactly what happened last night with Jocelyn Benson. So she, or someone I'm assuming on her team, now I think they probably had this scheduled, or they already pre-made the graphic, obviously. And this was released on her X. Boom. Michigan, I'm overwhelmed by your support today. Thank you. Michiganders are ready to fight for a transparent, affordable, and safer future for all of Michigan, and we're just getting warmed up. Jocelyn Benson for governor. Donate. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Oh, my gosh. So the funny part is overwhelmed by your support today. So that was a little preemptive, right? But obviously this graphic was pre-made. And you do that when you run for governor. You get everything ready to run. Sorry. That it's really catastrophic for someone who's announcing the run for governor. And look, when you maybe, depending on the polls, we got Dugan and everything else running as an independent who is really a Democrat. And we got Jocelyn Benson, who is, the front runner, I feel, as of right now, in the Democrat side of things, obviously. And you botch your announcement. So just as quick as they posted that, they took it down. But screenshots last forever, folks. That's for sure. And so I can only imagine when this happened last night, I had to throw gasoline on the fire. Okay. I think you all expect me to call out the shenanigans and hold people accountable. So if I don't make videos and content like this, y'all are going to attack me. Like, where's Garrett? Where's Garrett on this? So I had to make one of my little videos, and I did it on Commie TikTok. Commie TikTok is alive and well, still censors, still hot garbage, but I still utilize the platform. But here's what I made last night. I can only imagine this is probably what she felt like when this dropped. Enjoy. Just short. I would imagine that's how she felt. Okay. But I saw this morning on X, Tori Sachs, at Tori_Sachs. She reported Jocelyn Benson and any other, let me bring this up. Jocelyn Benson and any other governor candidate has 10 days after their committee is formed to file a statement with the Secretary of State. It's Benson's current job. With the planned tweets and website ready to launch, Benson has clearly been spending money for her governor campaign. Why hasn't she filed? Is she going to investigate herself? Will Dana Nessel? That is an absolute fantastic point. All right. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out. So thank you, Tori Sachs, for that tweet this morning. Gave us more ammunition to fire across her bow. That is for sure. But yeah, when you when you botch your announcement, that's no good. That is no good. And I feel, that this slip up, again, like I said before, it's a preview. It's a preview on how she's going to run the state. Careless, unprepared, and incompetent. If she can't manage her own announcement, folks, how in the hell can we trust her to manage our beloved state in the state of Michigan? So, Jocelyn Benson, good luck on when you officially announce, because it looks like the wind is out of your sails at the moment. Okay. Another thing that is going on last night, I did a 2.5-hour live of an interview I did with Green Beret Jeremy Brown, who continues to rot in prison. Okay. I share that interview because there's a 2.5-hour story of what went down. And he has not been freed yet. Okay. So there's a lot of people on social media who's calling for him to be released. The guy's been in jail for years. Okay. If you haven't watched that interview, it's very long, it's very detailed, but he really shines a light on a lot of things that happened and went down on January 6th and how the FBI recruited him. So I am doing everything in my power to bring attention to it and free Jeremy Brown. If you check him out on X at Free Jeremy Brown, you're going to learn about his story, which is pretty powerful. And if you want to hear it from his mouth, we interviewed him from prison a while back. It is a very, very powerful interview. And like me, and I'm sure many of you who have listened to it, it opened up your eyes. Okay. It truly did. Let's move on to President Trump and all of his pardons and commutes of sentences. A big one. The Libertarian Party is rejoicing today. Now, I have to show back in, I think in May of last year, May 2024, President Trump went to their convention. Okay. And they, libertarians, are a very passionate bunch. And President Trump did not get a warm welcome. Okay. So let's watch some of the things that President Trump said and the welcome he received. And then he said that he was going to, on day one, commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht. Listen in.
Now I think you should nominate me or at least vote for me, and we should win together. You heard those words. Nominate me or vote. Vote for me. Because the Libertarians want to vote for me, and most of them will. And it's very important. And I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served.
So all my libertarian folk out there, how do you feel that President Trump falling through? And that's why we all love President Trump. Is he perfect? No. But the guy's going to fall through with what he said that he was going to do. On day one, he said that back in May. And guess what? He followed through. Ross Ulbricht is now free. And if you guys don't know his story, I think there's a documentary. You can find it on YouTube. It is wild. Okay. And this happened back in, I think, early 2011, 2013. He started this Silk Road online, dealing with a lot of cryptocurrency and selling, and there was criminal activity on it. You can read all about it. I'm not going to get into details, but listen to some of the highlights that I looked up this morning. He's the founder of Silk Road. an online black market that operated on the dark web from 2011 to 2013. The platform facilitated anonymous transactions. Okay. So obviously, when you have anonymous transactions, you can see that it's going to get taken advantage of with the criminal empire. Okay. It involved illegal drugs, using Bitcoin. And in 2015, so I was correct, he was convicted on charges including money laundering, computer hacking, and conspiracy to traffic narcotics. And he received, listen to this, a double life sentence without parole. Okay, listen to that. For operating this dark web, the Silk Road, heavily in crypto, by the way, he received by the government a double life sentence without parole. My goodness gracious. I mean, to have that kind of sentence, a little excessive, in my humble opinion, for a nonviolent offender, okay? And I mean, it just proves the point what big government will do. Rand Paul sent a personal letter, I actually have it right here, to President Trump yesterday, January 21st, 2025, urging him to follow through on your stated intention to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht. So there's the letter that Rand Paul sent President Trump, and last night, President Trump honored his commitment to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht. Promises made, promises kept. You want me to really blow your mind on how nasty big government and what it will do to you? We've all witnessed what it has done to people in the past, what it tried to do to President Trump. Listen to this. When they got Ross, the U.S. government seized, listen to this, 174,000 Bitcoins from Ross Ulbricht. 174,000, not 174. 174 would be amazing. One would be amazing because Bitcoin is trading around over $100,000 right now. The founder of the Silk Road Darknet Marketplace. In 2013, at the time, the value of those Bitcoins was around 105 million. However, I mean, it makes me sick. However, the government auctioned off the Bitcoins in 2014 at prices far lower than their current value as Bitcoin has appreciated significantly. So Bitcoin is around a little over 100,000, I think, currently. And they took 174,000. Do the math. What is that? $1.74 billion that the government seized? Unbelievable, but very believable now. Correct? So it just goes to show you what big government can and will do to you if you stand up to them, which is very, very scary for everyone, including this guy. Been standing up against big government for over 5 years. Don't think I have my head on a swivel. My goodness gracious, I have experienced in the past, not to that extent, not to the extent of a lot of January 6ers, that's for sure, but I've experienced what they can and will do to you. Pretty scary stuff. And for all of my Democrats who follow me, right too, kicking and screaming about all the executive orders that President Trump is doing. Well, let me remind everyone out there what our nanny governor did during the pandemic. Over 140 executive orders issued by our nanny governor, Governor Whitmer, during the COVID-19 pandemic. Just in that short amount of time, 140, which the state Supreme Court at the time, which had common sense no longer, said that all of her executive orders from the pandemic were deemed unconstitutional. Okay? Just the facts. All right. Let me move on to pretty exciting news. Is President Trump unveils Stargate, the largest AI infrastructure project in history. All right. So looking forward to the vision of the future. Pretty wild, pretty awesome. AI can do amazing things, but holy cow, is AI also scary. And the reason I bring that up is when we're doing all this AI stuff and putting it into the infrastructure, I think they're calling it Stargate, not the show, Stargate SG-1 for all my sci-fi geeks out there. This guy's one. I love Stargate SG-1. Love Stargate Atlantis. I love Stargate Universe. They canceled that show right when it was starting to get good, but I think they're calling it Stargate. But the amount of energy that this is going to take from data centers, okay, a lot of people don't understand that concept, but I'm telling you right now, solar and wind is not going to cut the energy needs. It's really not, Okay, energy dense solutions. That's what we need to focus on, and that's what President Trump's focusing on. Drill, baby, drill. Obviously, natural gas. Let's go. Also, nuclear. Can't say that enough. They have unbelievable, efficient, great reactors, small reactors. It's not the big old cement things anymore. That is a huge investment that we can make that is long-term energy dense. And guess what? The byproduct is steam. And if we cut regulations, we can recycle a lot of the radioactive waste now with the efficiency of these things. I think it's over 90%. That's the efficiency of these reactors now. So again, I'm hoping there's investment in these long-term energy dense solutions. And I know that President Trump is also getting rid of the electric vehicle mandate. And here's my take on electric vehicles. I think the majority of Americans, if it makes sense, we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that this earth is a little better than when we came into it. I think we all want that for future generations. We can't be selfish, okay? But you got to remember, America is one of the cleanest countries in the world, and we allow everyone else to burn coal and do all this stuff, and we just get hammered down as a society. But if you make energy vehicles make sense, cost effective, the batteries are long lasting, right? You don't have to destroy the earth to get all the rare earth metals and everything else required to make the batteries and lithium and everything else. If it makes sense and it's affordable and they're better than gas-powered vehicles, we all would buy them. We would. We all would buy them. You can't force people into do this. Allow free enterprise to take over. Allow competition to take over. Healthy competition. Let's go. Let's get some innovation. That makes sense to me. Hybrids make sense to me, right? Transition to electric. You just can't mandate it to society. And that's the insanity of the radical left, right? It is. And you can see more and more Democrats are starting to wake up and realize that their party is not their daddy's donkeys anymore. And it's evolved into a radical left cult. And a lot of Democrats are saying, man, if I want to get reelected or if I want to get elected and if I want to run as a Democrat, I better go moderate real quick. And you're starting to see all of them do that. Alyssa Slotkin, Gary Peters, our senators here in the state of Michigan, our boy from Pennsylvania, Fetterman, right? All these people are starting to go moderate because they realize and understand the American people are done and fed up. Another great thing that President Trump has done, DEI is dying underneath President Trump, getting rid of it, which it should. It's garbage. In the state of Michigan, I will continue to put the pressure on our terrible three, mainly our governor, who put this on healthcare professionals in the state of Michigan, implicit bias training. Listen to this hot garbage. She did this back in July 2020, snuck this through with an executive order requiring all healthcare professionals in the state of Michigan to take implicit bias training every 2 years. Every 2 years, I have to pay out of my own pocket for a couple credits to tell me how racist I am and how I'm allowing my racism to dictate the quality of care of my patients. That's what they have done to healthcare professionals. So I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. You need to stand up and join me in this fight. And I will be asking every gubernatorial candidate in the future, they come on my show or have a conversation with me, what are they going to do about implicit bias training to healthcare professionals? I want to hear your answer, along with other questions I have about men competing in women's sports, boys and girls' locker rooms and restrooms. The Democrats still stay very silent on that. All right. And all of us should pressure every elected official. What are your thoughts? We should. Which brings me to the final segment of the Grassroots Army podcast. And make sure, I don't say this at all, and I need to start saying this. Hey, whatever platform you utilize, subscribe, follow. If you're on commie YouTube, which is growing again, been banned twice, don't want to be banned a third time. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Grassroots Army, it's called. We're on commie TikTok, Grassroots Army, on X at Grassroots Army. Facebook pages and groups are many. Garrett L. Soldano, Garrett from Michigan. My personal profile, Garrett Soldano, Grassroots Army Facebook group. We're all over Facebook. It's doing very, very well. Our group has now surpassed 34,000 patriots who are organizing right now. If you're on Rumble, Grassroots Army, Telegram channel, Grassroots Army, Instagram, Grassroots Army. See what I'm saying? It's that right there. Follow us, subscribe to us, share the content, because I am going to put the pressure on these next 2 years, folks. If you thought my butt was on fire these last 5 years, hold my cocktail. Water, coffee, beer, I don't care what it is, whatever you drink, all right? Because it's about to get awesome. I'm going to continue to activate Michigan and America's greatest asset, we the people, to hammer down and continue to call out the hot garbage, as we say, so we can blaze a trail so wide, so big, so full of hope and inspiration to everyone that doubted and hated on us. We'll have to humbly follow. Power of one can always lead to the power of many, folks. It's one thing that you've all taught me over the past 5 years. But we have to organize, we have to activate, and we have to get you involved. Do not sit on the sidelines this next election cycle in 2026. It is very, very important, not only in the state of Michigan, but our country. We have to make sure that we win back the Senate in the state of Michigan. We got the House, right? We have to make sure that we are holding the House and the Senate for President Trump. We have to get back the 3 positions: gubernatorial seat, Secretary of State, and Attorney General, okay? There's a lot of rumors of people who are running for governor. We have John James rumored, new congressman. We have Eric Nesbitt, who announced legislature. We have rumored to be Kevin Rinke, who ran last time, businessman, executive. We have a couple other people. Dugan, obviously, as an independent. Jocelyn Benson, who hasn't announced, but announced, all right? But we have to make sure that we take back all those seats. And I'm hoping we get some good attorney general and Secretary of State candidates. There hasn't been a lot of talk. So here's my hope is maybe you don't have the experience, the executive experience, the business experience to run for that level of office like governor yet. You can earn it, but here's what I urge everyone out there who's considering some type of run in any level of office is look at yourself in the mirror and really see what your skill set is currently and what you can bring to the table. Because if you want to run for governor and you could win the Secretary of State position and get more of a skill set for maybe next time you run for governor, run for Secretary of State. Run for Secretary of State. If you're an attorney out there, you're like, you know what, I'm going to run for governor. Run for Attorney General, right? We need good Republican candidates, all right? We really do. And so just look at yourself in the mirror. Hey, I'm all for throwing a rock at the moon and hitting the eagle. Dream big, right? But it's so important this next election cycle in 2026 to make sure that we're getting the right candidates who not only can win the primary, but also the general, and who are going to make Michigan the powerhouse of this nation, which we all know and believe it can be. That's why all of us here in the state of Michigan, we're not going to leave. A lot of people have left this state. I refuse to leave. It is a beautiful state, and I really believe underneath the right leadership, Michigan can lead the way. I mean, we got everything. We do. We really, truly, truly do, man. We have the trifecta. And we just need to make this business-friendly state, invest into our energy, and our tourism is unbelievable. And people don't understand, but we have, I think, the largest natural gas storage in the country. All right. So we have such great opportunity to make Michigan the powerhouse of this nation with the right leadership, man. And I'm hoping the right person stands up and we can get behind them. And I'm, like I said before, time and time again, I'm looking for an executive, a business person to do just that. Let's bring me to the last segment of the show. It's been a while since I've called out the Rochester School Board. It's been a while. I've been a little preoccupied with the election, firing up Michigan's greatest asset, the people, to vote for President Trump, to make sure that Michigan went red for President Trump. Came a little short up on the Senate. Hopefully we can do better next time. So I've been a little preoccupied, so I haven't been talking about school boards. But my eye's been on them. And Rochester School Board, it's your time. It's your time again. Rochester School Board is one of my ones I've been concentrating on for the last several years. They are very woke, and it went woke again in this last election cycle. There are still a couple really good people on that school board that have dug their heels in and trying to do what's best. But I'm going to show this school board meeting, and I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, with a woman who has a very important question for the woke majority over in Rochester School Board, because you said when Biden hammered and said, hey, all this Title IX garbage that they pushed through, right? And the school board at the time said, we have to be in compliance So we're going to make a policy so we don't get sued that boys can be in girls' locker rooms and restrooms and men compete in women's sports and all this yada, yada garbage, right? So now it's changing. So this woman's question to the school board is say, hey, you guys were so worried about being in compliance last time. Are you going to be in compliance this time and reverse your policy? That's an honest question. So listen in.
Shelley Brown. I'm a resident and a taxpayer in the Rochester Community Schools District. Recently, a federal court ruling in the state of Tennessee versus Cardona vacated and called unconstitutional the Title IX final rule regulation issued by the Biden administration's Department of Education, which broadened protections and expanded scope of prohibited discrimination to include gender identity, which would allow biological males identifying as females to compete in biological female sports, use their locker rooms and bathrooms. At a prior Rochester Community Schools board meeting, 5 of 7 board members indicated approval of changes in district policy to ensure compliance with the changes in the Title IX regulation by the Biden administration Department of Education. My expectations as a former chief risk officer and based on the Rochester Community Schools Board and superintendents demonstrated action of an unwillingness to be in compliance or be in non-compliance with the regulation changes, I would expect that you will just as quickly revise and approve district policy changes back to not allowing biological males to compete in biological female sports, use their locker rooms and their bathrooms. Based on her statement at a prior meeting that there have been no reported problems with biological boys identifying as girls.
Uh-oh, my video got stopped. I wonder why. We'll see. But it goes to show you that she is asking the school board exactly what I just said. Hey, you wanted to be in compliance last time. Are you going to be compliant this time? So that's my question to the Rochester Community School Board, who, by the way, blocked me on X for exposing them. I wear that like a badge of honor. What are you going to do? Hey, you said you wanted to be in compliance last time, so are you going to be in compliance this time? Me and a lot of your constituents and taxpayers in your area, I'm not one of them, thank God, want to know. So we'll see what happens with that, and I'll update you, and I'll be watching. I gotta highlight this person today. She just left a comment. I'm gonna make you famous. Ashley P. Fund. All right. Imagine being upset about that in healthcare. This is regarding my comment on implicit bias training that I am very upset that I have to pay for out of my pocket. When people literally can't afford healthcare, are denied healthcare, and insurance is an absolute nightmare. But yes, so sorry you have to pay for a training every 2 years. So is that my fault that the insurance companies, big pharma, Ashley is hammering you in these big insurance companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield, right? The governmental insurance, Medicare. Don't even get me started on those insurance carriers. You have no idea the scam that is involved with those folks. It is a business. They continue to lower what's called our allowed amount, meaning, hey, this is what they do. So Ashley, you asked that question, get ready to get the hammer dropped on. I'm not even going to go into what I've been doing and fighting for your medical freedom, your right to choose, right? Fighting for unconstitutional lockdowns, get businesses open, right? I'm not even going to go into that. The mandates, the mask mandates. So don't think that I'm only been on my platform for the last 5 minutes. You probably don't even follow me. Only yelling about implicit bias training. Woman, I've been fighting for 5 years for your constitutional freedoms, sacred values, and citizens' rights. So let's go into insurance companies since you put this question out there. Let me just put you up there again so everybody can see you. All right. This is how insurance companies work. If you want to be a network as a chiropractor, okay, as a chiropractor, if I want to be a network, let's say with Blue Cross Blue Shield, state of Michigan, all right, you sign a contract. So what you do is you read through the contract and it says, hey, even though you charge $50 an adjustment, we're only going to pay you $38. That's what they do. All right. And then what they do is they take all the chiropractors or medical doctors in the area and they average everyone's cost per visit, how much you make, how many visits you see per week. And then that is what you need to do in your clinic. So let me point this out because this is very important and this is how insane it is. So I had many clinics, very successful, and I was making a lot of money because guess what? People were paying me for a service and I was dominating the service I was giving them. Okay. So I had a lot of people coming to see me. See, the average chiropractic clinic probably sees, I don't know, on average, and it changes all the time, 70 to 80 a week. I was seeing 70 to 80 people a day. Okay. On average, I was on average over 100 people a day. People were like, oh my gosh, what kind of service? And I always say, if people didn't want to pay me the money, they wouldn't come see me because obviously I'm pretty damn good at what I do. But according to their guidelines, since I was seeing that many people and my clinic was at 300 to 400 a week, I fell outside those guidelines. You know what they do? They kick you out of network because you're successful. Medicare, our governmental insurance, does the same thing. On average, chiropractors will see a Medicare patient 7 times a year. So you're telling me an older person in their 70s with severe degeneration, which is arthritis, right, only needs to be seen by a chiropractor 7 times a year. Any chiropractor worth their grain of salt would say, no, they need initial intensive care, they need maintenance care. But if you go over that number, they will audit you. And when the government audits you, you're screwed. You're just writing a check. So don't blame me for the corrupt big pharma, these corrupt insurance companies and everything else because doctors are getting hammered. It's just not chiropractors. It's just not, it's the medical doctors, it's the nurse practitioners, it's everyone, the massage therapists. And they all know if you're a healthcare professional, especially if you own your own business, you know this because you live it and you breathe it. So don't for a second get on my platforms and start criticizing me because I will call your ass out. So hot garbage comment of the day goes to you, Miss Ashley. See, I'm all fired up this morning. So folks, I'll continue to do my part. You know what? I want to see if I can bring that. I want that school board. Let me see if I can bring that up again. 1 second. I want to really highlight Rochester today because they're one of my favorites. Let's see if I can do this. 1 second, folks. Let's see if it will work this time. We're going to see right now. Here we go. Let's see if I can bring that bad boy up. We'll end the show off with a bang.
Shelley Brown.
Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Hey, I think it's going to work. Let's check it out. Rochester School Board. Here we go.
Recently, a federal court ruling in the state of Tennessee versus Cardona vacated and called unconstitutional the Title IX final rule regulation issued by the Biden administration's Department of Education, which broadened protections and expanded scope of prohibited discrimination to include gender identity, which would allow biological males identifying as females to compete in biological female sports, use their locker rooms and bathrooms. At a prior Rochester Community Schools board meeting, 5 of 7 board members indicated approval of changes in district policy to ensure compliance with the changes in the Title IX regulation by the Biden administration Department of Education. My expectations as a former chief risk officer and based on the Rochester Community Schools Board and superintendents demonstrated action of an unwillingness to be in compliant or be in non-compliance with the regulation changes, I would expect that you will just as quickly revise and approve district policy changes back to not allowing biological males to compete in biological female sports, use their locker rooms, and their bathrooms. Based on her statement at a prior meeting that there have been no reported problems with biological boys identifying as girls.
Oh, man, it went off again. I don't know why. Somebody's messing with me. But here's my shout out, and here's my promise. They haven't ruled on this yet. Meaning, and let me sum this up if you don't understand what's going on in Rochester. Back, I think a year or so ago, 2 years ago, it's all running together. Rochester Community School Board, who blocked me on X, said, hey, we want to be in compliance because of Biden's Title IX stuff. Allow boys and girls locker rooms and restrooms and men and women's sports, yada, yada, yada. It's getting overturned, right? So this taxpayer wants to know if the community school board here in Rochester is going to honor what they said last time and say, hey, you guys worried about being in compliance last time. Are you going to reverse the policy? That's a fair question. And this is my promise to the Rochester Community Woke School Board, the majority of them. There's still 2 good people on there who I support. If you reverse this, I will get on a live personally and give you some love. Okay? My promise to you, Rochester School Board, if you reverse this policy, I will come on and I will give you nothing in praise and love. I will, because guess what? Whether you agree with it or not, it's the right thing to do according to what you said you were going to do last time. If you do that, that's transparent, that's following through, that's integrous. Even though I don't agree with a lot of what you guys have done, what you continue to do, I will get on here and I will praise you for doing the right thing. I will sit here and patiently wait for that to happen. Got a lot of comments right now that people want to come see me at my clinic. Yes, you can. SolanoFamilyChiro.com. You can go there. We're in the Kalamazoo area. We are accepting new patients. I'm a pediatric chiropractor along with Dr. Tiffany. Holy cow. Am I going to start pushing out why chiropractors see children? Let me go on. I'm going to go off on a tangent today. You guys got me going. Here we go. Look, back when I was growing up, now I sound like the old guy. A lot of you guys who follow me and women understand this. When did you go see your medical doctor? When did you do it? When you cut yourself, you were really sick, or you broke a bone. We would call up, we would go see our medical doctor, which the majority of the time was a private practice. Those are a dying breed. There's hardly any private practice MDs anymore because they're all under the hospital systems, which is controlled by who? Big Pharma. So the chick who was very upset at me for implicit bias training, that's your problem right there, girlfriend. Okay? If you want healthcare to get better, stand up. If you want your medical doctors to get better, have them stand up. But they can't, because if they stand up, the hospital system will fire them and they will not be able to put food on the table. So that's what they try to do, is they try to squeeze out private businesses like myself so they can control us. And I'm just too damn stubborn to be controlled, because I'm going to follow through and do what's right according to my patients. Okay? So back to my point. That's when we would go see a medical doctor. All right? Now what do we do as a society? We got well patient visit checkups. Every year we have to go in and we have to get checked in or checked by a pediatrician. You know why those were designed? Ready for me to blow your mind? To force vaccination on your kids. Force vaccination on you. To put pressure on you. That's why the well patient visit was created. I say all along, I love the medical profession. They are fantastic at trauma, at sick care. They really are. Unbelievable surgeons, stitches, broken bones, right? They're good at that stuff. But for the wellness, for the nutrition, to get the education, because what I do in my clinic is I inspire my patients to take control of their own health. That's what I do. I provide you. All I do as a chiropractor is I'm going to take stress off your nervous system. I got the easy job. but I'm going to empower you to do the necessary things on the outside of the clinic to take control of your own health. That's nutritional. That's proper mindset, right? I'll fix the traumas of your spine that's limiting your nervous system. That's the easy part. The hard part is accountability for you. And a lot of people just don't know what to do. And so that's what happens when people bring me their children and stuff, is I examine them, see if there's what's called a subluxation, is a bone out of place, which usually happens in the birthing process, by the way, according to the medical research. And then we remove the subluxation and get that joint to start moving to allow that body to function as best as possibly can. But in that process, we're also educating and inspiring our patients to be better versions of themselves. And we have so much sickness in our society today. There's so many things to contend with. Another thing that I'm going to start teaching is these gosh darn phones. The catastrophic things that are happening to these kids because they're addicted. If you don't think your child's addicted, look at their screen time. You'll be shocked. I had a young man in here the other day, a teenager, saying, Dr. Garrett, I got headaches. I can't sleep. I can't concentrate in school. I said, give me your phone. He's like, what? I said, give me your phone. What's your passcode? He gave it to me. Then I got into it. His screen time was 6 hours on social media apps. He wasn't aware. Mom wasn't even aware. And I said, son, limit that to under 2 hours and you're going to see a dramatic change. And guess what he did? He did. Next time he came, he said, Dr. Garrett, holy cow, you were right. I'm sleeping better. My attention's better. Oh, man, everything's going great. I said, just keep up with it. And guess who also is addicted? You all. You're all addicted too. Put your damn phones down. Monitor your screen time. I literally, when I check my social media, I go through the feed and I'm out. Or unless I want to look something up. Here's where social media is really good, is for knowledge. And AI is getting really good with this too. It's like, hey, I want to get a workout. What do I need to do? What do I need to do to fast? What do I need to do for this? That's when those reels, and there's so much information, you can utilize it for that. But when you're just scrolling through all day long, man, you're missing the big picture. You're only on this journey once, right? Open your eyes, enjoy what's around, and be in the moment, man. And that's one thing that we try to push too. I mean, there's so much things that we have to put our attention in, is to educate our patients and everything else. And that's what we do at my clinic. It's just more than this, a chiropractic adjustment. You're going to feel the energy of my clinic. Dr. Tiffany and I, we're very passionate. We're old school doctors, man. And if you want to look at what an old school philosophical chiropractor will do, we've been talking about the same things for the past 100 years, ever since we were founded back in 1895 in Davenport, Iowa, D.D. Palmer, right? What causes dis-ease of your body? Thoughts, traumas, toxins. Thoughts, mindset. Got to have a proper mindset on this beautiful cosmic journey. The traumas is what I take care of. You fall down, being born, playing sports, you get jacked up, sitting, right? Sitting all day at your job, in your cubicle, at your computer, on your phone. That's what I address. Structure. Structure equals function. And then the toxins, what you're putting into your body. Nutritional, limiting your toxic exposure, all that stuff. But now in society, and I've seen it in my clinic, I've been on this in practice for 17 years now. People are way sicker than when I first started. Holy cow, all I used to have to do is just adjust them, give them a couple of nutritional advice, and people would thrive. Now it seems they're overwhelmed with so much toxicity in this culture that people need a lot of help. And that's what we're here to do at my clinic. And there's many other philosophical chiropractors that I know personally. If you're in the state of Michigan, what you can do, and I might just start a list because I have a lot of friends who are unbelievable chiropractors all throughout the state of Michigan. I'm going to start building a list. And if you guys want to go see a philosophical chiropractor, I'll do my best to find one in your area and I'll direct you to that person. Okay. I can go on and on. Man, Dr. Cooper in Northville, Dr. Plentz in Brooklyn, Dr. Brent Beacom up, forgot exactly what town he is. Sorry, Dr. Brent. Little north of Holland. It's been a while. It's just so many. I have so many great chiropractors throughout the state, and I am going to direct you all to them. Dr. Scott Manchester in Jackson, Michigan. Dr. Lisa Olszewski in Chelsea. I can go on and on. All right. So if you guys want good philosophical chiropractors, I'll direct you. Just put your zip code in the comment section and we'll find one for you. And if you don't like that person, if you don't resonate with that person, let me know and I'll find you another one. That's my commitment to all of you. Because I hope now like 1,000 people don't comment. It's going to be a long day. Have a great day. And another thing, just like every profession, there's some not good people. All right. I have screenshots of colleagues who attacked me for standing up against the lockdowns. They always duck me at convention. I know who you are. I know the horrible things you said about me and my clinic online. I screenshotted them. You'll see me. You'll see me at convention, and you and I are going to have a talk. That's my promise. So keep running. Oh, the comments are already coming in. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do, folks, because there's a lot of people asking for chiropractors. I am going to start a statewide list. It won't be today. I'm going to list because I'm going to get permission from the chiropractors who I'm going to suggest, and I'm going to post it, and we will roll. Somebody said Kalamazoo and Battle Creek. Kalamazoo, Laura, my goodness gracious, my clinic, SaldanaFamilyChiro.com. South Park and Crosstown, we're right there. Okay. There's a lot of good people are saying Grand Rapids already. And hey, if you have a great chiropractor that you love in your area, put their stuff on here. Give them some love. Because that's the one thing that happens with chiropractors is, especially philosophical chiropractors, you build a really great relationship with them. Chiropractors are awesome. Okay. Especially the ones that are really passionate is they tend to be a part of your family. All right. So if you have a great chiropractor that you go to and you have a great experience, feel free to post that person in the comments. Okay. Put it all in there and let's spread health. Make America healthy again. Okay. I'm off my tangent today. I spoke too long. I got to go to work. Have a great day. God bless you. God bless the state of Michigan. Of course, and always, God bless these United States. Until next time. Bye-bye.